How many triple weeks did you end up doing?
Not too many, because I did a few, but not too many. I also did Pat Wilson. Remember Pat Wilson's gigs? And she thought that a run was the 3rd, the 9th, and the 12th. She thought that was a run.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do between the 3rd and the 9th?
Well, in Seattle at that time, you had Pat Wilson, you had another chick that she's dead, God rest her soul. She was a fucking cunt. and you had the chick from Portland, Oregon, the chubby chick. And then you had Donna Richards.
What's her face's name? She's still alive. I know the chubby chick, Portland, because she had she would do gigs in Tahoe.
And shit.
Yeah.
When you booked the 3rd, the 7th, and the 12th, it was because you would call the other lady and say, hey, I'm doing runs for Pat Wilson. And she'd go, what date's you going to be here? And then she would fill those in. And then you would fill the Comedy Underground on Monday for the open mic.
Right.
And then you would so it would be eight or 10 days in Seattle.
Those were the days.
You'd go from, and then you call John Fox, and then you're a week in Bellingham, all the way by the Canadian border.
He had a bunch of bullshit.
All bullshit.
He had these little bullshit bars you would do, and you wonder what's going on.
No
here?
hotel.
You're driving, and so at that time I thought this was great. This is
$100, no hotel.
Ooh. And who was the mid country guy?
C.W. Kendall was Texas,
but there was somebody that would be right next.
And then there was, when I was coming up, there was a company that were very good. They were very good to me. I forget what their name was. I sent them a tape, and they made me a co-headliner. I remember off the bat.
I remember the first time I did that. I ate
dick.
Oh my God!
The first week with them on the road, and they were as nice as can be.
Butte, Montana was my first hour-long gig for Tribble. I had to do an hour. You think I had an hour? Please, I didn't have an hour. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna do this hour? But I powered through it. That's when I knew I had to take it a little more serious. That was when I was like, okay, I got to take this serious, And I was doing all these things. I had a commercial agent. I booked a few commercials. That's how I stayed afloat. And then, like I say, when I got to Payaso Comedy Slam, that was 2006. Then in 2008, I booked Live at Gotham. Live at Gotham is when I got my first agent, TJ Mark Walter. He was my first. He booked me from that, and then he's the one that on his reputation got me out doing low pay headlining gigs, and then from there is when that's when everything started to happen.
So how many years into this were you both when you started doing road gigs?
Well, for me, I started doing road gigs but see, these aren't great road gigs.
Yeah,
So it was a year and a half. I was out doing Tribble runs. I knew
That's a shell shock in a year and a half.
But I knew I couldn't make it in LA though. I knew.
No.
You came from someplace else.
Yes.
See, I knew in LA. I don't know why people come to LA. These guys that don't just started doing comedy.
They're crazy.
What the fuck are you coming to LA for?
Drives me crazy.
It's and they think, and then they get upset about. They're spoiled because let's say you're a comic and you live in Tempe. Okay. You're a comic. You live in Phoenix, Arizona, Tempe, and then here comes Joey Diaz is coming into town, and you get to open, you get to be MC. So you think that's regular. You think it's regular to be in front of 600 people every night. You think, oh, this is what comedy is. Motherfucker, no, it's not. It's in LA. It's the open mic in front of 11 people. It's the belly room at 1 o'clock in the morning. If you even have the opportunity to get in the OR, you're going up super late when you first start. You first get into these things.
1:15.
Yeah, 1:15, and they don't even know how to deal with that. They're just like, there's only 11 people here. How can I perform in front of 11 people?
That's what that taught me. How to perform for 10 people, 8 people,
exactly.
7 people.
Exactly.
I never forget a story that I went to Houston and I did a show. In fact, Joel was saying, he goes, do you remember Easter Sunday? We did a show on Easter Sunday once at the Miami Improv that had 60 people in there. And it started at 8 and ended at 11 with a naked woman getting up on stage and let me eat fruit off a pussy and shit. It was crazy. But I learned all those small people sets from the Comedy Store. And then something happened one night. I got a call at about 10:30 at night. And it's the club owner in Houston. And he goes, I got to tell you something. He goes, now I understand you guys from the store. He goes, Johnny Sanchez was here tonight. And there was a Houston Rocket playoff game, so we only had 14 people. I was going to cancel the show. He said he wouldn't cancel it. Joey, you know it was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life? He goes, that's what you guys get from the store.
Yeah, man.
Mitzi would put you through 3 years of fucking midnight. And in those days, for me, it was following Paul Mooney.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, oh no,
This is what I'm saying.
I earned my stripes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
like you have a whole, there's an idea of like,
this is
and
all,
even what I went through pales in comparison to what you went through. You know what I mean? Like it's not even the same kind of thing. So now it's just a simple like, and the thing is like sometimes it causes a thing. Like I remember, it's like there's a thing at the store. It's like, you call if you're going to be late and then the next person goes up and you go up after, like these new people come, they don't understand any of those type of things. And so it's just different, But like I say, I remember coming up and just...
I like that people... I've had a lot of bad situations with young comics in LA because of the movement, what they expect to happen.
Oh.
It doesn't drive me crazy because I know the ropes. I know what needs to be done. I did them. I know how much time needs to be spent. So you come to me with any story, and I know when you're ready and when you're not. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know the time frame, and I know the work ethic that needs to go. And then something else has to happen. You have to become it. And that's a complete level. That's what happened to you after those 8 years when you came back. Yeah. You become it. That's a different fucking feeling.
You know what I always I tell young comics? I always say, you have to know you could do this. You don't have to answer that to me. This is a rhetorical question.
No.
You have to with you and whoever you believe in. You have to believe this is what you're meant to do, and you don't really feel that until you've gone through some stuff. Like when you stop feeling like you're entitled to things, people in this business think that it's like a deli where you take a number and you're waiting for Hollywood to go, number 75. And you're like, yes, my chance. It's my time to go make it. No, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes people skip the line. Sometimes people take a long time. Sometimes people get a chance and then they fall right off. Sometimes people work for a long time before they get a chance. There's no right or wrong way. You just got to be ready. And you have to know this is what you're meant to do.
But see, the young comics in Los Angeles, what happens is that they mingle with guys like you and I or other comics, and they feel, well, how come I'm not moving as fast as he's not moving? Where if you developed in Michigan, you're not worried about a fucking headshot.
Yeah.
You're not worried about being seen at a coffee shop. There's so many variables that aren't involved when you do comedy in Boston, per se, or in Miami, or in New Orleans, or you're in Houston, Texas, per se. We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.